I hate doing laundry, especially because the complex I live in, they still use coins. They use quarters. A lot of complexes these days, they have like a card you can reload and just swipe. You can use your credit card or debit card to load it, but here we're rocking with old-fashioned quarters. Today I want to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before I started YouTube. I'm about to head down to the basketball court. Today is a beautiful day, so I'm gonna go down and play a little bit of basketball. I'm just waiting on my friend Rebecca to come up and try to have a good weekend, relaxing, fun weekend, and enjoy this little bit of good weather before it turns to rain and snow and sleet again next week. This is why I can't wait to leave New York. So the first thing that I wish that I knew, which is the most important by far, and I definitely want to emphasize this, is consistency is key. However often you plan on posting, whether it's once a week, 2 or 3 times a week, on a specific day, daily, whatever the case is, whatever your schedule is, do not start a channel until you are 100% able to stick to that schedule. On top of all that, you're holding yourself accountable. The more consistently that you post, the more that you get into your rhythm, the less likely you are to fall off or stop being so motivated and stop producing content, the more likely you are to just keep grinding and keep going at it. Can we just talk about how sunny it is outside today for a second? Like, wow. Look at this lock. It's just here. I wish I had a key for this so badly, and it's literally just on this sign. It wouldn't do anything. It's not keeping anything locked, but I don't know. I just want to unlock it. This court right here is like a staple of my childhood. I grew up in this town, and me and my friends used to come down here all the time. Honestly, up until probably maybe a year or 2 ago, we would come down here all the time. But people grow up, people have kids and move away and things like that. But this court right here, man, always gonna be special. Also, I'm now realizing I am incredibly out of shape. So, yeah, I'll be here every day for the rest of my life. This back here, way over there, that's my old middle school. And right now I live pretty close to here, maybe 5 minutes down the road, but I haven't been over here often. In fact, last time I was over here, things were a lot different. For example, that whole entire thing wasn't here. I think this was just an open field when I was in school, which was 15 years ago, which is just sad to think about. Over there, that's the school itself right there. And then that lovely contraption is this obstacle course thing that we used to climb as part of gym class. Okay, so now for tip number 2. SEO matters. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Basically what that means is that the way that you title your videos, the certain hashtags you put in them, the way that you write descriptions, the tags that you put on the videos, all of those things matter as far as the way that people search videos and how your videos can come up when people search for certain things. There's a lot of apps like TubeBuddy and some other ones that are out there that help you with SEO that can basically tell you certain keywords, certain types of titles, and just certain hashtags and things like that that can make your videos easier for people to find. Because obviously whatever video you're making, you want people to come to your video to find certain things, so you might hashtag the camera that you're reviewing, or you might hashtag the location that you're vlogging in, or you might be doing DIY stuff and you want to hashtag those type of things and put those in your title. So SEO, the type of things that you're writing out in your descriptions and your titles and all that stuff, is super, super important. Okay, before I leave, I have to get closer to the obstacle course because I just have to show you guys how crazy it actually is the more that I think about it while I'm looking at it. Like, I'm pretty sure we used to have to walk across that. We would climb up this and get to that plank and have to try to jump and touch that ball. So yeah, I don't know why they had us doing all that. Not to mention, like, jumping to these ropes and this massive rock climbing wall. Like, what were they training us for? The Olympics? It's a damn shame because even with all that rigorous training I had access to, here I am, 27 and out of shape as ever. Okay, the third thing that I wish I knew before I started YouTube. Uploading a video as private or unlisted first and then making it a public video. The reason you would want to do this is because once a video is uploaded to YouTube, it immediately becomes public and anybody can go and watch it. Your subscribers or anybody who comes across your video can watch it. But the thing is, when you upload a video to YouTube, YouTube then processes the high definition version of that video. So right out of the gate, the standard definition becomes available once the video is uploaded, but that's usually some crazy low resolution like 480 or 320 or something like that. And then if somebody was to watch your video early on, then they're gonna see a super low resolution version of it and they're not gonna be able to really appreciate the full quality of the video. But if you upload it as a private or unlisted video first, then the video will be not able to be seen by anybody as it's processing its highest definition. And then once that finishes, you just make it public and it looks as if you had just uploaded the video. So usually what I do is I upload a video, and once it's finished uploading, I'll automatically upload it as unlisted, which means only me and anybody I send the link to can watch the video. So it's basically like the same as private. And then I allow the HD version of that video to process. Now this could take a while. I upload most of my videos in 4K. Most people are probably doing 1080 or 4K. So when you're uploading in a higher resolution, it could take several minutes to several hours to process that video. So that's why it's good to upload it early on, let it process, keep it private or unlisted, and then you make it public once it's finished processing. And the cool thing too is, even if you uploaded the video at like 8 o'clock in the morning and you made it public at like 5 o'clock in the evening, it's still, the second you make it public is when it'll act as if it uploaded. So as soon as you click public, it'll say uploaded, 0 seconds ago, as if that video was just uploaded. So it's not like you upload it and then, a few hours later it looks like it's just been sitting there with no views. No, YouTube is automatically going to count that as having just been uploaded. Most people, again, probably don't really understand that or think about that when they're uploading a video, but hey, if you're going to go ahead and do a 1080p video, in HD or a 4K video, you should probably want your viewers to be able to watch it in whatever the highest resolution you shot it in, so that way they can appreciate the full quality of the video. Well, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm out of here. The fourth thing I wish that I knew before I started YouTube was how important your thumbnails are. The thumbnail is the thing that catches people's eyes. When your video pops up in their feed, the first thing they see is usually either the title or the thumbnail, but most likely it's the thumbnail. So I've learned that when making thumbnails, you should try your best to make them as attractive as possible. This means sometimes people use certain colors, like brighter colors. A lot of times people will include text. And although I have personally said myself that I don't think text is all that important, in fact, if you go through a lot of my thumbnails as of recently, a lot of them don't have text. Well, I do think the thumbnail text can be helpful because it can give you a little bit of an idea about the video, without even having to see the title. Again, I don't think it's super necessary. I think sometimes people overdo it. And if all your thumbnails just have, tons and tons of text in them, sometimes I kind of feel like that gets like a little cartoony or just like a little, I don't know. I just kind of don't like the way it looks sometimes. So I try to mix it up. So a lot of times I'll just take a screen grab from my video, or sometimes I'll sit there and I'll actually take a specific, thumbnail for my video. But a lot of times, to be honest with you, I could just do something like this. Like literally, this is a little behind the scenes of how I'll do a thumbnail sometimes. I pick a spot, one of my favorite spots throughout the video, and in the video, I'll just do something like this, or 5 for the 5 things that I'm talking about, whatever the case is. A lot of times that's how I do my thumbnails, and that's pretty much it. So again, having good thumbnails doesn't necessarily mean including all kinds of text and all these kinds of graphics and stuff, but you definitely want it to be attractive, and you definitely want it to make sense for whatever the video it is. So like I said, thumbnails are definitely Okay? Thumbnails are definitely important. No matter how you make them, you want them to be attractive, you want them to be eye-catching. So, like I said, it's kind of like that first thing that people see. So if that's interesting, people are far more likely to click the video to begin with. Well, I think I've had enough of this place, so I'm gonna get out of here. Last thing I wish I knew before I started YouTube is don't ever do a sub for sub. So for those of you who do not know, sub for sub is basically telling somebody, hey, subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to yours, and that's it. You sub, I sub, it's sub for sub. And the reason that never works is because even though your sub count, your subscriber number is gonna go up, it's basically like having a dead subscriber. This person subscribed just for the sake of subscribing, but they're not actually gonna watch your content. They're not gonna give you views and watch time and engagement. So having them there actually is only hurting you, because if you start doing that with a lot of people, all of a sudden it looks like you've got a couple hundred subscribers, when in reality you have like maybe a handful of subscribers who are actually actively watching your videos. That's not a good look. If you actually want to have long-term success on YouTube, or anything really, you don't want to cheat the process. Don't try to skip ahead. Don't try to take shortcuts. Grind it out, stick to it. It's going to be difficult. It's going to take a long time, but that's what makes it all worth it. Don't try to just get ahead by doing sub for subs. It's just not going to work. So that's it. Those are the 5 things that I wish I knew before I started YouTube. I'm glad that I learned them over time. You know, there's trial and error and making mistakes and all that. So luckily I figured all that stuff out. But hopefully for those of you who are considering starting YouTube, or you're just starting out, maybe some of these things are things that you can take notes on, you can practice, that'll help you with your channel going forward. If you couldn't tell, it's pretty dark right about now. It's getting cold, and I'm at a public park, which I don't even think I'm supposed to be. So that's about it for this week. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up. And that is all for this week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.